Good evening. Before we go any farther, I want you all to look at the map. I want you to notice these little red lines. Boom and boom. We are sitting at 15 minutes before treaty drop. This is what Jake McKean can see. Okay? You can see the map. You can see a very large percentage of the map. When we look at these red lines, there's one here, there's one there. Notice, if we are talking about this red line here and a spectrum in between this side and this side, the middle would be about right here. There's a significant portion. Now let's look at the area. Jake has built a wall here. Jake is also seeing that I have a wall over here. Not only does Jake see that I have a wall over here, but Jake also sees that I have military buildings here. 15 minutes before the treaty drop. Now, if Jake truly felt that this was a gentleman's agreement infringement, at this point, Jake and his teammates, and so not just Jake, but Jake and his teammates, which would include Larry and Austin and Travis, should hop on the chat and say, hey, Tanner, you have buildings over here on our side. Now, I recognize that I am Tanner. My mind was, Jake has built a wall that is within view of my square. I feel that Jake has built far forward, especially when you look at Jake's wall compared to Jake's zone. When we talk about Jake's zone, he is built very far forward. When we look at the map, he is built almost to my base and left a massive amount of space for Jake. So I will turn the fog of war off because Jake can now see. Well, we have now looked at what Jake can see. So I built a wall, if you look at it, literally on the middle point. If we look at the diamond, my black line is literally on the middle point of the diamond. 2 dots to the left. But I've also left Jake all of this peninsula area, which, if I was playing a Jake move, I could have walled off right here. Boom. And claimed this. But I did not. So, we're going to let things just kind of go. Jake even deletes his dude. Oh, no, I delete my dude. Because I wasn't using him in the building wall. But Jake builds another wall here. I don't know what this is about. And so he obviously knows that I'm here, and I have military buildings on this side. Why didn't he say anything? Why didn't either team say anything? I now am under the assumption that this area is my zone. Because I have military buildings and a wall that my military buildings are on the other side of. I am looking at this as this is in my zone. And I should have said something. That was on me. I should have hopped on and said, hey guys, your wall is too far forward. Move it back to over here. I assumed because you guys could see my military buildings that didn't need to be said. And that was on me. I should have said something. As we can see, I'm moving forward with it. We look down here in the south. Jake is walled off. Larry's getting ready to go. Travis is ready to go. Our trade was trash. It was absolute garbage. We are at 3 minutes before treaty drop. I've built some stuff. I've built stuff on both sides. I have military buildings, military units on both sides of the wall. At 3 minutes before treaty drop, that was there. We're going to slow things down. Because we're at 57 seconds before treaty drop. 42. Now, treaty drop is coming up, and I'm realizing that I have units on both sides of the wall. So I connect my building to my other buildings. this is where Jake feels that I am cheating. He says, hey, this is not okay. He's got some stuff here. Again, I am not going at him. If I wanted to go at him, I wouldn't be going back here. I'd be going forward. Now, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, I am going forward. But I still haven't. There's still time. Time is still going by. We're just hanging out. I've got military buildings. I've got military units. It's not my fault that Jake doesn't have any military stuff going. But, again, I have not crossed what I view as my lines. Although, now I am. But I'm allowed to, because it's treaty drop. Bring my guys forward, and the fight has begun. In the south, we see that Larry is going at full bore. On the other side, we've gone and killed some stuff. Jake's bringing his guys back. Larry is going. You see Austin is fully building. I don't see any military up here, and I don't see my actions as being the reason that this team lost. The reason this team on this side is losing is because they have nothing over here. Well, we're going. And in the south, Travis is here. Larry is here. Barzy is holding for dear life. They are showing up in numbers, holy cow. Travis and Larry are going. But Taylor's here. And I'm moving forward. You see that Taylor's gotten in. Larry and Travis are seriously making work down here, and Barzy is holding on for dear life. Taylor is turned. And we are cutting in. Austin, we see, is building military buildings. Taylor is attacking a town center. Let's turn on this stuff. He's killing everything. On the other side, Travis, as the Japanese, is a scary thing. Alex, I believe, is the Persians. Yeah, he's the Persians, so he's going for the cheap crossbowman. Larry's trying to get in. Meanwhile, Jake's sending troops. I've got troops in their trade. We see that Taylor is down on their trade as well. Got troops over in here. We're kind of going crazy on this side. That 30 seconds over here would not have saved them from that. But Larry is moving forward. On the other side, you see that Austin is this Austin or is this Jake? This is Jake trying to do another line of walls. Travis is coming over here and building military to help out. But Taylor is just all over. In the south, Travis and Larry are moving forward. Alex is helping as best he can. And things are just not going well here in the north. Or in the west, I guess? Northwest? Either way, Travis is a monster with those traps. Just absolutely eating up buildings. Jake is very dead from an econ standpoint. Taylor's into Larry. Travis is over here. Showing up, he actually takes out this castle. But it sure feels like too little too late, because Taylor's just... He's even got stuff over here. He's building Ninja Sending. Meanwhile, Larry... He's fighting a fight. Things are going crazy. Travis is keeping stuff alive over here, his troops. But Taylor is just ransacking people. And Larry's still slinging forward. They made some serious progress over here. It feels like they're losing steam. Even though Travis is doing great over here. And Austin's starting to show up. But that's that. Again, when we go back into this area, if you see military buildings on the other side, it is your team's job to say, hey, that's not okay. Because in my mind, I viewed this as all my zone. And at this point, Jake hopped on and was saying that Tanner's a jerk and cheating and not playing by the rules. And I really felt like I was. But obviously there's some debate there. I should have said something about these walls being too far forward. That's on me. And I definitely will admit that I should have said something there. But I wasn't going in and trying to do a gentleman's agreement. I wasn't trying to get an early drop. And this wall stayed intact. I did not go in beforehand. So that's my perspective. The thing was, this side was wide open. And there wasn't military here other than these 4 buildings that were right there. But were not hit before treaty drop. And I was not cutting in before treaty drop. So, either way. Let me look at stats. Things were low. Taylor with that high military score. Larry wasn't far behind. The high score goes to Taylor, of course. When you get troops, and when you get military buildings in the back of their bases, that's what happens. Larry with the most units killed and the most units lost. You know, Larry's Slavs is a scary thing. Travis played great too, although his KD was not nearly where he would have wanted. Barzy almost 1 for 1. When we look at economies, Barzy had the most stone and gold. I had the most trade. Larry had the most food, and Taylor had the most wood. Larry cooking, but that 1625 is impressive. Ugh. So there's that. Barzy with that villager high 239. It's high. If we have more debate, I'm happy to hear it. But from my perspective, I was not out of line.